Number one thing trending today, China trade war. Take a look. Nick Sorter tweets this out. President Trump's 104% tariffs on China have officially taken effect. Hold the line. China has increased theirs to 84% tariffs on us. And Kevin O'Leary says, hey, listen, it's not enough. We should jack it up to 400%. Why not? They lie, they cheat, they're not fair in business practices. Take a look.
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China.
Wow.
They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO.
And we know China doesn't play by the rules. They never have, right? And listen, even Schumer was on board back in 2005. Do you remember that when he asked for the 27.5% increase in tariffs for China? Here's Schumer on the floor in 2005 asking for a 27.5% tariff on China right here. It says to the Chinese that their unfair trade policies have got to end. Here he is right here. Go find it. So he loved it then, but not now. Pretty much every country's bending the knee. 70 countries are waiting to meet with Trump about this now. But look who's siding with China with retaliatory tariffs. Look at this, right? China and Canada. Yeah, that's not surprising, is it? Bridget Gabriel tweets this out. I would revoke every single Chinese national student visa today. Send them back to China. We're now in economic and global war with the CCP, right? Not a bad idea. Definitely could pull the cards.
Donald Trump, don't trust China. China is asshole.
And the memes are flying, and yet another cruel blow to China. General Xiao's chicken will be renamed General Don's Oriental Chicky Nuggets. Listen, who are we kidding? Americans are addicted to their Walmart cheap crap. And where do we go from here? Put it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in there. God bless.
70 countries or so. I'm curious, though, under what conditions at this point would President Trump talk to President Xi?
Yes, just when I thought things are getting back to normal, Kevin calls for 400% tariffs on China, says it is time to squeeze Chinese head into the wall. Orally praised Trump for playing hardball with the Chinese. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't investigate in their court. You may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his healthy. Finally, an administration that put up and says enough 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. That is what he advocates. This is coming just a day. Trump slammed them with 84% tariff. China responded. At the end of this video, we are going to find out what exactly is going on.
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China. They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, and sell it back here. Never has an administration.
400% tariffs? What would that look like?
I want Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business there, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government cheats and steals, and finally, an administration, you may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric, finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. Xi can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39% of all consumables on Earth and 25% of the world's GDP, America is the #1 economy on Earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well, hold on a second, Kevin. Well, I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure of that sort of tax on the goods?
It's short-lived. There will be
but what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline.
I worked at a factory, went to factory in 1989. We made radial passenger tires for cars. I worked there with my dad, 8 of my uncles, and 12 of my cousins. I was a union steward there. That plant now sits in China because you can import small radial passenger tires pretty cheap because of our failed trade policy in this Democrats' opinion. Donald Trump will use that to say that we need to fight China. We need to bring those jobs back to America. feel a little pain for a little bit, but I'm rejiggering this whole thing to make it work for you. That's what he's betting on against the pain of what people are really going to feel. And this is what will be determined in 18 months, to your point, Abby, is the American people will decide which one of these philosophies actually is true.
That's 100% true. I mean, we'll have
we all agree. We all agree.
Exactly right. Let's just hope that
the Mexican redneck brought everybody together.
Yes. Do you know the country that is standing up to China like they are in support of what they are doing? Canada is standing in line with China at this time. When you take a look at the whole situation, and Democrats are now advocating for China, that is the tweet I see. I'm not saying this, I have seen it with my eyes. People, agreeing with China at this time, it is crazy. When you look at the whole situation, like this man advocating for this percentage with China, it is getting to a level we are waiting to see Trump respond. When you take a look at this article, I recently saw China's finance minister has announced an 84% tariff on goods imported from the U.S. as it retaliates against new levies imposed by the White House.
70 countries or so. I'm curious, though, under what conditions at this point would President Trump talk to President Xi about tariffs?
Look, I just spoke to the president about this, and he believes that China wants to make a deal with the United States. He believes China has to make a deal with the United States. It was a mistake for China to retaliate. The president, when America is punched, he punches back harder. That's why there will be 104% tariffs going into effect on China tonight at midnight. But the president believes that Xi and China want to make a deal. They just don't know how to get that started. And the president also wanted me to tell all of you that if China reaches out to make a deal, he'll be incredibly gracious, but he's going to do what's best for the American people.
Peter Navarro on some of these tariffs. Musk actually referred to Navarro today as being, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. Are you at all, or is the administration, the president, all concerned that this is maybe impacting the public's understanding of these tariffs? It might be messing with the message on it?
No, look, these are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue. And you guys should all be very grateful that we have the most transparent administration in history. And I think it also speaks to the president's willingness to hear from all sides, that he has people at the highest levels of this government in this White House who have very diverse opinions on very diverse issues, but the president takes all opinions in mind, and then he makes the best decision based on the best interests of the American public. Deanna.
Yes, I have seen one Republican congressman coming out to say he's going to vote against all these tariffs. They are going to put a bill to stop this. I don't know. Speaker Johnson made it clear like he will block it. They should allow Trump to execute what he promised during his campaign to do.
Mr. Speaker.
Not sure yet.
But Mr. Speaker, there's a push by some of your members to give Congress a say. Don Bacon has a bill to give Congress a say in reviewing the tariffs. Why not give Congress the opportunity to have it be a check?
Well, Congress will weigh in on it, but with the president, with the administration in tandem, and I think you got to give the president the latitude, the runway to do what it is he was elected to do, and that is get this economy going again and get our trade properly balanced with other countries. So I think most of the American people understand the necessity of that. Listen, we had a $1.2 trillion trade deficit in 2024. I don't think that's fair to our country. I think the American people understand that, and I think they see a president who's engaging and trying to fix that. So we're going to give him the space necessary to do it, and we'll see how it all develops.
Do you think Trump administration officials should brief members? I mean, some of your members are asking for a briefing at the very least to understand the strategy.
His office is directly engaged with members, and we'll have.
Do you expect to talk to the conference, sir?
The meltdown on the establishment right and the Trump-hating left over the volatility caused by Trump's change in tariffs is everywhere. Good luck tuning into a podcast, a television show, picking up a paper without being told how terrible these decisions are and how Trump doesn't know what he's doing. You actively have to work to find somebody like you who says, let me tell you another way of looking at this. And try to disabuse some of these establishment types of their very, very well-held wisdom. So VDH, your thoughts on the tariffs?
Well, there is a lot of misinformation. The first thing is that I know this, I'm like you, I have a 401k and it's been really hurt, but Donald Trump did everything Wall Street wanted his first term. He repealed Dodd-Frank, he deregulated, he cut taxes, he encouraged accelerated depreciation, and the market went up, Megan, 65% under Donald Trump, higher than even Biden.
I believe you've seen that. Thank you guys who has been there sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. If you see clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm. I always get people asking me, why are you doing compilation? Why are you putting some kind of videos? That is what I do on most of my videos. So when you see you can earn at a certain level, you must not watch that.
He does not understand. He is not loyal to the United States of America. I've said it before, say it again.
Manufacturer. But he's not a car manufacturer, he's a car assembler.
I'm calling Elon.
But what
That's
is
all I'm
it?
saying.
But what is it?
Things looked up around 10 a.m., right? The market shot back into positive territory thanks to a tweet reporting the White House economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, was not true. And an hour later, the White House issued a statement denying it.
Global markets are sinking.
Markets across Asia, Europe, and Australia plunging.
At one point this morning, the Dow sinking almost 1,600 points.
The markets lost more than $6.5 trillion in value.
This is an economic Armageddon.
My wife about the stock plunge. She said, "Oh, I thought you guys would never go."
Terrible. Cystic disorder would. I know better than anybody. Forget about the economists who know better. Forget about people who know history. I alone can fix it.
Have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy the view. And remember, the resistance is real. You're not alone.
Has anyone else noticed how women on the left are the most miserable group of people? So
Harris is not president. Trump is. And if you don't like him, folks.
Starting on.
Wish the
and a lot of people who didn't vote.
And finally, new rule to those on the right.
Isn't exactly getting the hero's welcome.
The fact that the Americans finally realized what the reality was.
This is a Fox News alert, a crushing blow for Democrats who had hoped against hope.
Brad Schimmel, that has included Elon Musk pouring tens of millions of dollars.
I think you saw a repudiation of the fact that.
Do you think the Republican takeaways tonight are going to...
The margin right now.
So the latest, unbelievable.
After today, I get it now. I